Good morning, champ. Happy birthday.
It's a great day today, because Mike's Toontown's birthday is today, friends! It's happening today. And today, I'm throwing a party to celebrate. A party blast. A Nickelodeon Party Blast. Don't worry, it's gonna be a fun time. I hope. Let's get started! I'll have to give a quick shout out to Brandon before we start this video, because he did give me some help with the script for this entire review. He has a Twitter and he has a YouTube. Here's his YouTube right here. You can follow him or subscribe to him in the link in the description, as well as the end screen for his YouTube. So thank you again, Brandon. Make sure you go follow and subscribe to him, and we can get started. First of all, whew, mamma mia, look at that. A 19, 3.6 overall? Dang, a lot of people hate this game, especially IGN. A 1.1? Uh-oh. Now, let me ask a question. Does it really deserve all of this hate? Well, I'll be the judge of that. There's gotta be a reason for the hate. I'll find out that reason right now. I believe I've found them. Wait, infograms? No, that can't be the reason. I mean, they published this game. Yes, Nicktoons. They published that. So I'm surprised this game is not like a masterpiece or something. A 10 out of 10 you can say. There's gotta be something else. Infogrames was the publisher, but who is the designers, the developers? Oh no! It can't be. It can't be the same data design that released all of those insanely bad shovelware games on the Nintendo Wii. It can't be that data design. I see why the game is hated. Oh no, they developed this game. All of these games, oh, they're bad. So I'm assuming this is gonna be bad too. Off to a poor start, but I ain't gonna give up right now. I have a party blast to attend to. Too late to turn back now. This is for Mike's Toontown's birthday! Because, you know. Anyway, as the game begins, you get a, interesting cutscene with all the playable characters. And, these models. Oh my! These models don't look the worst, but they don't work the best either. As you can clearly see, look at that. Oh my. Yeah. This is what it is. I need to tell you guys, this game was released in 2002. So, this was early on in that generation. But there are better looking games that are already released. So, that's not really much of an excuse. But it is somewhat a cool cutscene. Regardless. But it just shows that these models are not the best in the world, but it could be much worse though, if you think about it. Oops, burp. Well, we have a decent cutscene at least, so how about the gameplay? Is it any good? Well, boot her up and CatDog's the host? Wow, that's cool! Because CatDog was somewhat still popular on Nickelodeon during this time. It did get cancelled till 2004, so it was a nice touch to see CatDog. Well, almost a nice touch to see CatDog hosting, because
patrons, fans, and fellow furry feline comrades, and dogs, welcome to Nickelodeon Party Blast. Have we got a fantastic program for you to enjoy? What do you think, dog?
Oh, I can't wait!
no Jim Cummings as Cat, but Tom Kenny does reserve his role as Dog at least, and SpongeBob. Now, let's just go straight to the voice acting real quickly. Our characters are Angelica, Tommy, Zim, SpongeBob, Eliza, Otto, Miss Slam Bam Bam Boom DA, I mean Reggie Rocket, and Jimmy Neutron. Now, before we continue, let's take a look at the recent poll. It looks like the Timmy Tuts and Chasing Dad are tied. Chasing Dad actually got a vote. That's surprising. They made a comeback. But now I gotta do a tiebreaker. Well, since there are no Fairly Odd Parents characters in this game, we're going to do Chasing Dad. I'm going to do Chasing Dad, and that'll be the next Nostalgic Stories book, so you guys look out for that. I gotta say, the voice acting, including Dog, they really, and SpongeBob himself, they did a good job with the voices.
Jim has defeated you with your own pathetic technology!
There was never a doubt.
SpongeBob, making plumbing safe everywhere.
Beauty helped me win this game.
All right, first to victory lane.
As for the other three, they don't have the proper voices. I can kinda understand for Eliza and Jimmy, but Tommy? It's weird having Angelica's original voice actor, but Tommy's is absent. Isn't it weird? Here, have a listen.
Good work, guys. I don't know how I won. I couldn't have done this without the support of all my friends.
Those voices are not terrible. Except for one more. I saved the best for last. Just listen to it for yourself.
Oh, no doubt my racing modifications helped me. Groovy gravity, easy as pi to the 10th decimal. According to my calculations, lunchtime, my water dispersion device worked. It worked. Brains before brawn, but goose is always superior. Ha-ha! Take that. What a blast. Cool like fusion. Got a blast. Brain blast. This was not in my calculations.
What's that?
It seriously sounds like Jimmy was sounded by a female! Like, how is it that bad? Anyway, okay, no more screwing around. It's time to get to the actual gameplay. Obviously, as you can see, all the stages are locked. You're gonna have to play Blast in single player mode in order to unlock everything. You must place first in a level in order to unlock the next one. If you don't, you can retry, but you must win. There's no second places here. You can replay any stages you've unlocked in the replay mode in single player, and any stages you unlocked will also be available for multiplayer. Let's tackle each game mode one by one. First is Food Fight. Basically, you pick up food and you just bash it at the other players and deplete their health. You gotta be the last one standing to win, or at least the one with the most health when time runs out. I already can tell that the controls are floaty and a little bit wonky, and that's not good. Plus, there's no real aim selection or any lock-ons in general, so it will be difficult at times to aim at your opponents, so expect to miss a lot. Overall, Food Fun is... Food Fun? Food Fun, nice. I'm keeping that error. But anyway, yes, Food Fight is pretty fun. While it's not really the best mode, you can have some enjoyment with it, and it's just an exploit to it. Just hide away while the other players bash out to each other. Don't get in the way until everyone's at critical health. Then you can land the final blows. Next game is probably the hardest one. Pipe Challenge. Oh boy, this game. The premise sounds simple enough. You gotta build your pipes from your starting station into your quarter to cover finish point. Then wait for it to fill up. The problem is, the AI will most likely steal or break your pipes. Seriously, you're barely gonna score points. Well, building pipes and stealing pipes and destroying pipes also grants you points, but filling her up, you know, that's the main premise of it, and it gives you the biggest points, especially with long pipes. But good luck trying to build the pipes if they get broken 95% of the time. You need to have the invincibility item in order to last long here. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about the items. Each game mode has specific items to each game. And sometimes it's world specific / spade specific. Spade? No, stage specific. I'm keeping that error too. So that's a nice change. Sometimes the power-ups are a variety. But here, yeah, they're kind of broken here, making this very hard. The only useful item is the invincibility item. If you don't have it, get ready for your pipes to be going bye-bye. Don't even get me started on the boss of this. Mama the boss. It's a nightmare. But we'll get to him. The third game is Rollerball, and thankfully it's a lot more easier than Pipe Challenge. You just pick up the balls and just dunk them or throw them into the basket. Simple enough, any basket will do. But if you grind and do tricks, you'll gain extra points. But really the main exploit is just throw it at the basket or dunk. That's it, just keep pressing the button when you're close to the basket. The aiming can be still off, but the dunking is not that bad, honestly. Avoid your opponents though, because if your ball is stolen, not only will you be momentarily stunned, but you'll also lose points. Avoid them at all costs because you can waste time and points at the same time. Avoid contact with anybody because they'll most likely steal your ball. The fourth game is Squirt and Splash, and it looks just like Food Fight, just with a point system instead of a health system. You just gotta splat each other, and the one has the most points wins. If you fall in the water, you will gradually lose points, so it's best you stay out of it. There's also some kind of fuel or pump gauge, where the more you shoot, then the more you run out, you gotta wait for it to refuel. It's supposed to be some kind of strategy mechanic, but it doesn't work well at all. Just go rapid fire if you need to, and try to not get too close to your opponents. Seriously, especially on the boss, because the boss is complex. Not as hard as the pipe challenge boss. I'll get to the bosses soon enough. Finally, there's Coin Rally. Oh, I'm sorry, the game calls it racing. But it's really a coin rally, not a race. You have to collect the most coins and use the power-ups to your fullest advantage, because the power-ups are the most useful in this mode, regardless of any mode you are. They're the most useful for this mode. There's magnets and punching bags and Reptar dolls everywhere that make you gain and lose coins. So it's very important you grab the coins, avoid the power-ups that your opponents are using, and bang 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 slam bam mammamia, you win. Some of it is pretty easy, like the Jimmy Neutron stage. I'll get to the stages around the end of the video. But now let's get to the bosses, baby. But wait a minute, I need to tell you all something. Remember those power-ups? Yeah, now it's time I tell you something special. If you want to unlock those cup challenges, yeah, there's also a cup challenge. How you unlock them? Do we need other cup challenges? No, you have to collect bronze stars or unlock the cup challenges. So getting 100% might take some time. The gold stars are used to unlock special areas or to activate machines. But this is more game breaking, or it just doesn't work because it doesn't tell you how many stars you need for the machine, and it just eats up your entire stock, so what's the point? Finally, wait, not finally, one more after this, Nick coins. Collecting Nick coins boosts your score. You can either give you more score, or it gives you more health, depending on the game mode. Not all game modes use Nick coins, however. And last, and probably least, I guess, yeah, it is least because it's rare, the goose letters. Everyone has a goose meter, even in Coin Rally, when I don't think it's really necessary for Coin Rally, really. Because there's no letters in Coin Rally as I've heard, so there's no point for that one anyway. But that's not the point. The main point is that these game modes, the other game modes, except for Coin Rally / Racing, if you collect the letters, you can spell out goose. If you collect all the letters, you unlock goose time, and you get to goose your opponents with a super cool advantage. Of my entire playthrough of the game, I only gotten goose time once. Yeah, only one time. Minus one stage, which we'll get to in a moment. That's how rare it is. You might only use it once, maybe twice, but other than that, it is pretty rare. Plus, I don't think it's that useful in most game modes. It might be really useful in Food Fight, but that's pretty much it. There's not really much use to it. It does look cool, not gonna lie, but not really that useful, really. So I should point it out, those are the main items that split up between each one. There are also silver stars, but I'm not really going to talk about them. They're confusing regardless, so I'm not even going to bother to talk about them. Let's talk about the bosses now. To me, the best boss is the Coin Rally boss. You'll be snowboarding down the mountain and facing against Tito and Raymond the Rocket. Tito and Ray are working together here. If one gets fallen behind, then the other one will tag in. To make things worse and harder for you, their scores combine. So if Tito gets 200 and Ray gets 500, that's 700 combined. So you better watch out for the tag team action, because it might be a challenge, but it's still pretty fun though to see Tito and Ray. The next boss I liked is the Squirt and Splash boss. You'll be in the Professor Membrane lab facing off against Dib and Gaz. Dib makes sense for the boss, but Gaz as well, which is surprising, like her appearance in Nicktoons MLB, but a nice welcome nonetheless. Your objective is to push Dib and Gas off the stage to make them lose lives. They have a set number of lives. You can also use the slime turret shown on your screen, which is pretty nice. Your objective is to get the life down to 0 and then they will be gone. That's all you have to do, because what you're shooting here really pushes them far back. There are also holes on the ground too. But the thing is, if you get pushed off once, you're done for. It's game over. You only have 1 life. Well, they have about 20. So you gotta watch out for that. It can be pretty easy if you know what you're doing and you don't get sidetracked. You should have no problem at all. The next boss I liked is the Pipe Challenge boss, and it's Eugene H. Krabs. He is a funny character from the show, so it's nice to have him as a boss, but it doesn't really make much sense because he's awfully fast! Look at that! He is ridiculously fast. Seriously, ridiculously fast. If they were going to pick a fast character, they should have had like Sandy or something, not Mr. Krabs. I thought Mr. Krabs was having a midlife crustacean. You know, he's getting old and he's really not that fast, you know? Well, apparently he is here. Jeez, he's ridiculously fast, making him possibly the hardest boss. But you just gotta get lucky, basically, and know what you're doing. You might even be very lucky at some points, and I'll get to that alongside seeing the review. But seriously, Mr. Krabs is ridiculously fast. What is he basically? Sonic? I guess you can call him. I guess you can call him Eugenic the Crab Hog. Get it? That was a bad joke. Let's just move on to the next boss. The Rollerball boss. I'm very disappointed in. I thought King Ooblab was going to be in there, as well as his brother. And Goddard could also work for King Ooblab. He could be like, I don't know, hijacked or something, or hacked to work for them. That would make sense. But no. Instead, we get meatballs. They let meatballs. But that's not important. What we have instead is Goddard himself and 2 holograms of him. What? 2 holograms? Talk about unoriginality. Why not use King Ooglab? Oh, Oobob, sorry, or something. I don't know. I'm just, come on, that's unoriginal and uncreative, man. Not cool, man. They could have used them, but no. Holograms. And even the holograms can get stuck. Like there. How does that work? Ay, what a mess. Not as big of a mess as the Food Fight boss. The Food Fight boss is Rugrats. And if I'm thinking about which character they would use, they can't use Angelica since she's a playable character. I'm thinking they should have used Phil and Lil. You know, it makes sense because they love to eat bugs and worms, and they love to get down and dirty in their diapers. It makes perfect sense for Phil and Lil to be a boss, as a Rugrats theme. But instead, we get a robot that looks like SpongeBob!
And robots that look like SpongeBob. Joy!
No, it's not joy! It's lazy! This, for me, is the worst boss. For one thing, he's ridiculously easy, and also he makes this noise 24/7. Hope you guys can still hear me. It's that annoying. He even still does it even when he dies. Oh, that is not good for your ears. The worst part is he actually has a unique name. Take a look at this.
I love that. That was making me so hungry, Cat.
Let's get on with the show. Wait a minute. What's that?
Oh, what? What?
That's Robo Juicer. Robo Juicer.
Robo Juicer.
I cannot believe what I just heard. Robo Juicer? What kind of a name is that? You could say it's one of Stu Pickles' inventions, but that's just still so lazy. Why not use Phil and Lil, another character from the show, instead of just this? Easily, this is the worst boss of the game. Honestly, the soundtrack is actually decent. You actually get some somewhat very good tracks in this. I am very surprised. The only problem is you can barely hear the soundtrack from all of this. Can you guys still hear me? Yeah, the sound effects here are bad. They're very bad. Seriously. You can barely hear anything. It's just a madness of ding-dings and all that. It really gets to your ears, or at least defeats the entire purpose. You really are better off lowering down the volume or muting it in general. That bad. By the way, the same annoying trend can occur with the character voices. All you can hear is grunts and jumps and all that. They make noise each time, and it's the same few lines over and over and over again, and it gets annoying real quick. If you're playing the blast mode, after each level there will be a short intermission between cat dogs, and they're actually pretty fun to watch. Even when there's no Jim Cummings, it's still a nice touch regardless.
2 more games before the challenge.
So is that 1 or 2 squirts away?
How are things on Planet Dog anyway?
Cat Dog will even give you brief introductions about the game mode you're playing, as well as a quick look at the controls before the game starts.
Yes, I am.
This is a nice way to teaching you all the steps and all the controls needed to play the game. And again, it's always a nice touch to have this along.
To move around the area, you push this up, down, left, then right. And to jump, you press this.
Oh, I'm all tangled up now.
And to crawl or drop items, press this. If you want to throw a ball, dog, press this.
Well, undo me. Press something.
The more I look at you, dog, the less I learn. Remember, if you want to do a trick, press this and the direction at the same time. Let's get dunking baskets.
Release me. Help.
There's not much to talk about cup challenges except you need bronze stars in order to unlock them. You can have up to 150 bronze stars. That also goes for gold stars. And that the random cups do not generate final stages for some reason. Also, the final level will always be some random level for each cup, excluding the boss stages and the final stage. Speaking of the stages, I'll show them quickly and then give them a brief review for each of them. The Krusty Krab food fight stage is pretty standard. With Mr. Krabs throw your food, there's a gold door, and you can also use the goose tub over there. There's really not to talk about the Invader Zim food fight stages. The screen that tells who is winning is also a machine you can use, but requires a gold star. There's also a tub of goose you can use. Rugrats food fight stage is food for an area on the appliances. There's also pizza top of the fridge, and loom pickles can be seen on the window sometimes. Final stage is wild form areas. There's an elephant. There's a pile of ooze on there over there, and he can use his turret to throw food at other people. Pipe challenge, Jimmy Neutron. It is a simple layout, but because it's pipe challenge, it's still hard as crap. The SpongeBob pipe challenge is a bit more complex and it does a bit more variety, but it's still pretty simple and still hard because of the AI. Oh yeah, I forgot there's jellyfish, so watch out for that. The Invader Sim stage, you gotta watch out for these springs that can momentarily stun you for movement, and there's also those gnomes that can steal pipes and blow up your pipes, so watch out for them. Not counting the boss fight, this might be the hardest pipe challenge level, and it also has some very drawn loop pickles, a very bad drawn loop pickles, seriously, it's funny. Mantown State Park is pretty good for a starter for the rollerball stage, as the hockey go can also be used as a basket for some reason, and there's also an item that can be used to grant meatballs, so watch out for those meatballs if you can. And there's apparently barrels of slime down there. The Jimmy Neutron stage, a robot can have green balls thrown around, which means they might score some points, and also there's more meatballs, so watch out for those. The Wild Form Areas one, there's not much going for it. There might be some secret areas, but most of it will require a gold star. There's also some random barrels of slime, and also some meatballs can also occur as well. And those spiderwebs can be used for something. The Air Rocket Power level, it's now nighttime. There's a spitting hoop, and there's only one hoop this time. There are more grails, there's some more barrels of slime, and there is more meatballs. I'm sorry for this rapid talking, but I'm trying to get this fast and quick. The Rugrats Squirt and Splash stage is a good starter stage for Squirt and Splash. There's not much going for it, giving you the idea of what the game is about. The SpongeBob page is a bit more complex. You gotta watch out for a moving ship that balances, and you gotta watch out for the pits, because if you fall in, you will momentarily stun and you lose points as well. The Wild Form Areas one, you're on a raft, you gotta watch out for the moving waters and push them into the water. The other Rugrats stage now is reptile tiles that go down in the water after a short period of time, so you gotta watch on them, stand on them, otherwise you'll fall in the water and you lose points. The Wild Form Areas Corn Rally, you're going for some river, and it has a unique item that stuns all other players for a short amount of time, and it's the only stage that actually has this item. Jimmy Neutron stage might be the easiest corn rally. It will have a pinball section, some magnets, it'll also have weird JPEG characters. Also have this. Rocket Power Corn Rally, you'll be snowing through a mountain, you gotta watch out for rocks and pits and all that good stuff. There's also one more wild foam area going around, and we'll still have the stun on that you can use on the other players. Whew! That was a mouthful. But that's not every stage. Nope. There are also some bonus stages. Each one takes place in the snow rink in the rocket paraffin. And they are, well, they are not that worth awarding. You have this one game where you move around this clamshell thing, and you have to hit it to make sure it's your own color and score it at another person's goal to earn points. There are some power-ups to help you out a little bit, but overall it's not really that fun of a time since you have very limited movement to where you need to go. You're pretty much stranded, basically, and whatnot. The second bonus game is very confusing. You have to tag the player in order to get this power thingy, whatever it's called, and you use it to grab all the clams and shells and whatever they're called. These bonus games are really just, they're not fun. You, again, just like the last game, you have very limited movement and it doesn't really make much sense. I don't think this is really worth unlocking, going through without trouble, to be honest. The third bonus game is literally a carbon copy of the second bonus game. Instead, you move around a bit more freely, but you're tagging along some kind of retard trailer. So it is still sloppy to control. It also has this, whatever it's called, well, I don't know, power thingy you have to tag in order to gain it back. It's just confusing and it's not fun to play at all. It's a carbon copy. Why waste a bonus game on something like that? For the next bonus game, you're all tied up into one specific spot. All of you are jangled up and pretty stuck together. Your objective is to try to move around yourself and hold yourself into one of your colored zones. It needs to be your color zone. You need to stay in there in order to gain more points. And I guess you gotta stay off the center because you lose points if you stay in there. Again, it's a confusing mess, and overall, it's just a complete waste of time. The final bonus level is the absolute final level of the game, the goo zone or whatever it's called. It is better than all of the bonus games combined. It is that, but it's basically a squirt and splash, but way heavily slowed down, and it uses ooze. If you're stuck with goos and stuff, then you will be heavily slowed down and it will be hard to steer your character. If you shake off the ooze, you can regain back your speed and control. Interesting, it is an interesting concept, and it kind of is actually used somewhat well. I say somewhat, very strongly though. The mode is actually not that bad, but it's still just okay. If I were to rate the game modes itself, the 4 bonus games will be the bottom of the bin because of its very limited gameplay and limited movement of each game you have. Followed by Pipe Challenge, that will be second worst. Rollerball will be next, then the Ooze level, then Food Fight, then Squirt and Splash, and finally Coin Round is the most fun I had. Now I'm going to compare both the Xbox and the GameCube versions. I was going to talk about PC, but there's not really much differences with the PCs. It's similar to the Xbox. All the differences to GameCube and Xbox also applies to PC. Like the PC is similar to the Xbox version, but I'll explain the similarities. Let's start with the loading screens. First off, here is the loading screen for the Xbox version of Nickelodeon Party Blast. I'm going to speed up a little bit. This is ×2 speed. And there you go. See? It is kind of fast. Now it's the GameCube's turn. Again, it's ×2 speed. You can already see it is longer. Okay, it's much longer than the Xbox. Oh, goodness, it is that long. Which is surprising because the more powerful consoles should have the longest load times, not the GameCube. But for some reason, the quality control on the GameCube is a bit better than on the Xbox. You can definitely tell from the sound quality of the Xbox, it doesn't sound too well. Plus, some parts of the game can actually be unfinished on the Xbox version. I think it really is the reason, because the Xbox version came out on late October 2002, while the GameCube and PC version came out in mid-December. The PAL version, the Xbox PAL version, also came out in mid-December. So, I'm thinking the quality control is much better on those. I think the PAL version of the Xbox also has better quality there. But the original Xbox North American release back in late October, yeah, you can see there's some problems. I think those are fixed in the other versions of the game. On the GameCube version of this stage of Rollerball, there is supposed to be an extra rail section, but it was cut off in the GameCube version. This is the Xbox version, and you can see the extra railing. Also, the bottom railing that was not cut, you can ride them two ways in the Xbox and PC versions, but not on the GameCube version. On the Xbox version, the victory music will still be playing when cat dog are on screen, but on the GameCube version, the music will stop when cat dogs soon show up.
What is that?
Ah, that is not far to go now. Just one more challenge.
No, I said, who is that?
Not who, dog. What?
That's what I just said. What is that?
Ah, that is not far to go now. Just one more challenge.
No, I said, who is that?
Not who, dog. What?
That's what I just said.
Finally, on the Jimmy Neutron Rollerball stage, you see those planks? Yeah, something's missing in the GameCube version. See, as you can see, the Neutron logos from the planks are missing. Don't know why it's cut in the GameCube version. Is there really any differences to the PC version? No, it's basically the same thing as the Xbox version, except for the controls. The controls on PC are terrible, and you can't even customize them. Why? This is 2002, you can't customize controls? There are alternate custom controls on the Xbox and GameCube, limited, but at least you can switch them out. But here on PC, no. Completely stupid. That's why I think the PC version is the worst one. Sure, it may not have a bad presentation like the Xbox version, but the controls are so bad they're not even worth it. Are there any glitches and bugs in Nickelodeon Party Blast? I haven't really encountered any bugs for myself, maybe some minor bugs, but they're very minor. However, there might be a bug with the AI at times, because there have been, the AI is just like brain dead and they just don't even move. But other times, a prime example would be here. This is from Mike's Toontown's second part of Nickelodeon Party Blast, this cartoon gameplay of it, where he plays all the bosses as the angel herself, Angelica Pickles. As you can see here, the pipe challenge boss, yes, with Eugenic the Crab Hog. He's barely, not even moving. Look, Mr. Krabs right here is not moving at all. Like, it's not happening. He's not even moving. Giving Mike Suit out an easy breather to just think, look at his message. No, he didn't hack the game, it just happens. So there are chances that the AI will bug out. Either it will be ridiculously slow or they just stand still and don't do anything. That can happen, but it's not common. So glitches, check, but they're not game-breaking glitches or anything. Well, maybe they are for the AI part, but that's basically a free win. But for Pipe Challenge, Mr. Krabs, yeah, that's a good glitch. It is. Worth knowing that this is the GameCube version he's playing. If you want to see the video for yourself, link in the description or on the end screen card. On another note for the stages, not every show or theme gets its own stage on each game mode. There will be some shows that are missing. They could have put in an extra effort to add every single show in that game mode, but no, there will be some that are missing. That right there is a missed opportunity. I do have to say, the game kinda takes more variety with your character choices. However, that's mostly noted in one game. And guess what game that is? Pipe Challenge. Of all the modes, Pipe Challenge. I think this status also applies to other game modes, but it's mostly noticeable in Pipe Challenge and probably only in Pipe Challenge. Whoever you choose can determine how fast you steal pipes and how fast you build pipes. So, if you choose Eliza, SpongeBob, Jimmy, Reggie, or Angelica, they are fast builders and stealers, making them ideal for this game mode. Tommy and Otto are fast stealers, but they are slow builders. Invader Zim is a fast builder, but he's also the slowest stealer. So character choice does kind of matter here. I have to appreciate variety, but It could have worked for the other game modes, but I don't see it really happening in the other game modes. Now time to talk about miscellaneous of the game. But if you plan on playing the game for yourself, if you're willing to sift through the loading screens, if you are a patient person, then try to go for the GameCube. If you don't want that, then go for Xbox, but be prepared for bad presentation and possible unfinished parts too on the Xbox version. There was actually planned to be a PlayStation 2 version, however it was cancelled for unknown reasons, probably because of the backlash of the previous versions. This is the beta cover that was most in all of the versions, but it could have been the PS2 cover, but there have been evidence that the PS2 version was in the works, because you can see the DualShock 2 controller and the memory card stick somewhere hidden in the files. And there also been an advertisement, a small advertisement for infograms on PlayStation 2. See the small advertisement? You can see Nickelodeon Party Blast right there on the left if you can look very hard and closely at that. The advertiser here may have been pretty small. I think the only advertisement was in magazine covers and maybe a few billboards. I don't think there was any television advertising for this thing at all. Which I can understand because Data Design doesn't really advertise their games at all. So that is to be expected. But if a different developer would have handled Nickelodeon Party Blast, we would have actually got an amazing game on our hands. But Data Design was pretty raspy with this release. As you can see here, this is the beta loading screen, and it does look kinda worse than the original loading screen, but there's more variety to it as all the characters are listed up there and just waving and saying hi at the screen. So there's a bit more variety with the loading screen, but it does look kinda worse. Lastly, I found this video showcasing Jimmy Neutron's animations for the game. There should be other videos relating to other characters, but the only one I could find is Jimmy Neutron's, and this looks, I don't know about this one. It just looks so funny, dude. Look at his clay hands. Oh, it's funny. I have to say, it's kind of cool and pretty hilarious to see. But that is Nickelodeon Party Blast. Despite all of the nitpicks, I actually still enjoyed parts of the game. I actually still enjoyed the game. Not by a whole lot though. By a generous amount, yeah, I did enjoy it. Yes, I do not like any of the bonus games, and Pipe Challenge is a bit too difficult to be having fun with, honestly. But the other modes you can have decent fun at. If you plan on actually getting the game for yourself, should you really go for it though? If you really want to have just laugh your butt off of how ridiculously crazy and awful it kinda is, yeah, you can go for it. But I recommend you just play it with friends. Maybe you can use it as a quote-unquote torture device, really? They really use this as a torture device? Bottom line, does this really deserve a 1.1? No, that's too harsh. It deserves a 3 out of 10 at worst, and a 5 out of 10 at best. It's bad to average in my taste. I still had fun with the game, but yes, this game could have been so much better. Thank you for watching my review of Nickelodeon Party Blast. You can check out Thomas Memory Central. He helped me with some of the scripts, so you can check out his channel, as well as his Twitter, link in the description. And give the birthday boy some love! Mike's Toontown. It is his birthday today. Go check out his channel, his Twitter. It's a birthday boy. Give him some birthday love. And this was a party blast. And I hope he has a great party blast for his 20th birthday, man. Thank you for watching, and stay party blasting, my friends. Yeah.
When you